Man, Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, man. What an absolute. Firstly, why was that allowed? Why was that sanctioned? Why was that a pro boxing? Like, this is on Mike Tyson's record, yeah? So he's lost to Buster Douglas. Buster Douglas, Evander Holyfield, and now all these other great fighters, and now you got Jake Paul in there. How do you guys feel about that?
Do you know what? I'm going to be honest. That when this was made, I was like, people are seeing certain things in like small clips. Mike Tyson, oh, he's got power and stuff. And I just thought, listen, you guys are enabling this as much as Mike Tyson's enabling himself. Like, you had your scare, and this fight was dropped for a particular reason. Like, I'm not mad. I'm not gonna sit here and feel sorry for Mike Tyson, the legend, or anything, because nobody put a gun to your head to do this particular fight. And now, yeah, you've got that record that you lost to Jake Paul. And if I'm Jake Paul, I don't care how old Mike Tyson is, I'm going to shout it because you gave me the opportunity. I took full advantage of the opportunity. I move on and you have a loss. So, yeah, like, it's an entertainment thing. Don't get me wrong, it is full on entertainment in terms of what the actual concept of it was. Yeah. But if it's a professional fight, that's your fault. It's not my fault. I did my job. And if anything, I saved you from getting into that wheelchair again.
I don't understand how it was sanctioned. We saw Mike Tyson. Yeah, I think I saw that like Tyson made about $20 million. Yeah. And Jake Paul made about 40. Yeah. So that's how that happened. But so a lot of my friends were hitting me up for this fight. A lot of people who don't watch fights. They're saying like 60 million people watch this fight. Like, so it had the name value, but 20 million?
No, 120 million people throughout the course of the event.
Yeah, I think that's what Jake Paul said, but I saw Netflix say only 60.
Oh, damn. No, it must be.
But that's still an insane amount of people watching your fight. But it's like, so many people were caught up in just the fact that it's Mike Tyson. I was saying to my wife, like, it must be fun to be a casual because you have these high expectations of a 60-year-old Mike Tyson boxing 27-year-old Jake Paul. Like, it must be great to be a casual. Meanwhile, I'm telling everybody, dude, they need to cancel this fight. This is not okay. I don't understand it, but it happened.
Do you know what? To that point, it wasn't even casuals. I think if it was just the casuals saying Mike had a chance, fine. If you watch that Netflix 3-part series prior to the fight, you have actual guys in the world of boxing saying, don't write off Mike Tyson. And that's the problem. That's the problem because if you've got them type of guys giving legitimacy to a 58-year-old man, then the casual will buy stocks into it. So I don't blame the casual.
Yeah.
I blame the people in boxing that try to give legitimacy to a Mike Tyson and think he can do something. But the reality is, after 2 rounds, you are finished.
Fighters like Tyson Fury saying, oh, this is going to be a walk in the park for Mike Tyson. I'm like, what in the fuck are you talking? I think they're just trying to help Tyson sell the fight. Because if you look at the documentary, the 3-part documentary series leading up, Tyson doesn't look bad. You know, they're not going to have footage of him looking bad. You know, they're going to have footage of him looking at his best, you know, looking sharp. So when I saw him in the ring, I mean, his performance was just like, I know he's old, but guys, I was not expecting that. He clearly looked a little injured.
Can I be honest with you? When you trip going into the ring, what hope do I have? Your ring walk, you actually tripped going into that ring. And to that point, I'll say this. If I put pads on you, Ash, and you give me some beautiful combos, the pads are not hitting you back. The pads are in range for you to hit.
Yeah.
So again, it's one-way traffic because it's allowed to be one-way traffic. So that's again another thing. But yeah, I just knew this guy didn't look confident. He had no grand entrance. It looked like he was going back to the 1980s when he was fighting in terms of the entrances and just the plainness of it. And yeah, once you tripped, I'm sorry. Yeah, it was cash money for Jake Paul to win. And it was also cash money for him to go to the distance because out of respect, he's not going to knock out Mike Tyson.
He pissed off enough people just by beating him. If he knocked him out, he really would have set off the whole fan base.
Did you hear what Francis Ngannou said recently? He goes,
no.
When I see Jake Paul, I'm gonna slap him.
Oh yeah.
See, that's one that doesn't need to happen. But look, I'm gonna say this, and people are not gonna like it. Jake Paul. I remember he did an interview with Eddie Heard, or did a face-off, and Eddie called him average, and he got pissed off at that, or annoyed.
He is average though.
He's got average,
average
level of fundamentals to a point. I don't discredit Jake Paul the way certain people do. He's just, because of his popularity, he can't fight journeymen. He has to fight people with name value because they'll never sit on an undercard of any fight anyway.
Definitely. Well, what did you think of the performance, Jermaine? Like Jake Paul's performance against Tyson? I know it's a little difficult to kind of assess it because you might have to hold back against a pensioner. But
he clearly did. There was even like when I watched the back, like some people breaking down the fights. There's moments where he could have caught Mike like clean, and he just chose to back off. He could have really hurt Mike. So I gained respect for him just not absolutely murdering Mike Tyson when he had lots of opportunity. There's times where he's hitting Mike with jabs, and Mike is not even moving. He's not even like registering that he just got hit. It's like, what the hell is going on, dude? Like. So my hat's off to him for not murdering Tyson.
Yeah, I mean, he looked stalled and shot with some of those jabs. He almost looked like, whoa, that actually hit me. Like, yeah, I'm actually old now. And I think the most embarrassing thing was when Jake hit him with that left 3 times in a row. Fucking hell, man! I was just Mike Tyson in his 20s would never have happened, man. It was just a bit embarrassing.
But Vitor Belfort would have never stood a chance against Holyfield. You know,
oh, definitely no way, no way, man. Just absolutely murdered him. But what do you guys do with Jake Paul going into this? Like, let's talk about the winner first. What do you think, Abbas? What would you do with Jake Paul?
Do you know what? This is the thing. I just said that before. He's in an awkward situation where you can't put him against nobodies because of the brand of Jake Paul. So it's just more of a case of trying to find a matchup where the celebrity profile is great enough that, let's say, they've got a couple of traditional or professional boxing fights on their resume, and that's probably the way he progresses. I know he's calling out for world title fights. There will be certain
does anyone really think that's legit? I'm sorry, like him calling out Canelo, like
I mean that won't happen, but there is the possibility. There is in 25 or 2026 where Jake Paul financially can get a world title shot because the champion itself, whoever that is in the division he wants to fight in, will look at the money and think, I don't have to spend so much time looking after or training for this guy. Let me put my actual boxing brain to one side and make the fight. But in 2025, I think it's like, to be fair, he does the activity thing. He fights as much as he can. I think it's just kind of matching him up. I would say the next fight's got to be again with someone with a resume that's average, like with a couple of wins on a boxing record, but also a profile. Maybe towards the back end of 2025, he might need to fight a actual level boxer to be able to say, look, in 26, I can challenge for a world title. But like I said, do not be shocked in 2026 if Jake Paul is actually fighting for a world title.
What do you think, Jermaine?
I think Jake can keep doing what he's doing, but just with old boxers. Because like we saw, like Andre Ward is calling him out. Actually, Arthur Beterbiev called him out. Like if he gets that fight, right? If he gets that fight, he's gonna get his ass kicked. But
he'll die. He will die.
He would die. But I'd be like, respect to him for even going in there, man. And like, but let's say hypothetically he wins that fight. Then Canelo is definitely
stop it. Stop it. We're not doing that.
That's never happening.
We're not pull a Raven. No, we're not doing that, man. That's ridiculous.
I'm just saying, if we take that drug testing out of the question, and then we just let Jake do what he wants to do, You don't
think Beterbiev is on steroids as well? Of course he is, man. He's Russian.
Yeah, they're all, but
he's a Russian. No. Come on, man. You guys. Why are you acting so
naive? One of my goats. Don't go for one of my goats.
No, but bro, they're all like all the Russians, man. They were like, bro, all of them, man. You know, every single one of them. Right? No, I think what Jake should do is, and this is just my opinion, he's got one loss on his record against an actual professional boxer. It was close-ish. I don't think it was that close. Why not fight Tommy Fury again, man? Tommy Fury.
Does he even box?
He is. He's still boxing.
So he had an injury. He had an injury. But what I know to a point is that they are setting up the KSI Tommy Fury rematch. So yeah, I will say this. I will say this. If they fought again, first I think KSI beats Tommy Fury. I thought he beat him the first time when I was there. But I think Tommy Fury would lose to Jake Paul. I think Jake Paul's better than Tommy Fury. The same way Jake Paul's got a brand. Tommy Fury has the Fury name, and that's all he's got. He's got nothing from a boxing standpoint close to it. So I think Jake would beat Tommy Fury as well. So I like that. Obviously, the main fight people want to see is him versus KSI. It's just finding the weight gap and what is that weight when it's 180. I don't think.
How big is KSI?
KSI is not that big, man.
In terms of this, it would sell out like this.
No, I mean like height wise, like because what is Jake like 6'2"?
Yeah, he's a lot bigger than KSI.
Yeah, I think it's the weight thing that's an issue right now with them two.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a fair fight. It's another unfair fight for Jake. You know, of course he wants the KSI fight because you're talking about a guy that's maybe a weight class or two below you as well, no?
Yeah, I think they'd have to fight at 180 or 185, find a medium in between and work that out. But I think with KSI, I think they're locking in something with Tommy, but I don't know when they're going to fully announce that.
Damn, man. Another easy YouTube money boxing. I guess he's never going to really go for the world title, man, Tommy Fury, if he's going to get easy money.
Oh, no, he's not that. No, he's not there.
What do you do with Mike Tyson going forward, though? Do you ever see him in the ring again? Do you guys ever want to see him in the ring again? Do you just want it to be, that's it, man, we're finished. You're 58. Just don't even like do exhibition fights.
We didn't need to see Mike versus Roy Jones Jr. We need to see that. All right. Let's just not, whoever's around Mike Tyson, don't let this happen again. The man said he had 8 blood transfusions back in June. He almost died. And you guys still let this fight happen. I don't want to see any more. No more old guy fights.
More than just ancient.
But all I'm going to say is, if you put yourself out there, you have to be criticized. So if he decides he wants to do it again with Logan, which won't happen because of the WWE contract type of thing anyway, but if you strip that away 100%, I won't be surprised if they wanted to run that.
Yeah.
You got to be criticized. So I don't think he fights again. And fair enough, he doesn't need to just sit, enjoy, play Undisputed. Like, play yourself in the video game and enjoy yourself there. But don't fight again. But if you do, trust me, you need to be criticized for everything that happens in that ring.
Yeah. And I don't think he was expecting it to be this much backlash, because there was quite a bit of backlash, let's be honest, man.
But it's deserved. It's deserved. That's the thing. That your backlash, I don't care what all these, a lot of people are hammering on Jake for taking this fight and stuff. The money is insane. Why would you not take that fight? You should hammer on Mike Tyson for his performance because Jake spared him. Mike wasn't competitive enough for Jake to make it competitive at all.
Yeah. And I don't think they would ever do something like this again, because you could only play this trick once. You know, it's like Mike Tyson's back. You know, they kind of alluded that he's on the good stuff, you know, a couple of times. You know, more than once or twice, and I don't think that was even enough, man. Him being on steroids and training like as heavily as he did, you can't play this trick again. I mean, the only thing I can think of is making him versus Holyfield 3, and no one's gonna give a shit. Like, no one's gonna care.
I'd watch it, but I don't want it to happen.
Unbelievable. What's next for Netflix boxing? This is a milestone event for this for the platform. It actually crashed the website, which is crazy. What would you do? What do you do with Netflix and boxing, man, going forward? What would be something you'd like to watch on that?
Netflix is in a weird place. The reason I say that is all the premier boxing type of events happen on DAZN. So they don't have any leverage to be able to do that. The only thing they can really do at this point is essentially be the home of Jake Paul's boxing. So I think that's probably the only route they can really go in terms of live boxing. You can't get anything else just because of the way everything's locked up. Canelo fights with Amazon and Showtime there. All the big boys are on DAZN. So that's the only route they've got. Funny enough, this is a tried and tested method. They've been trying 2024 in terms of live events to do 10, because their big thing is 25. We have all the WWE on Netflix, so that's where all their resources and everything has been pushed in. All I'm saying is sort out your buffering. I'm gonna be at WrestleMania anyway, so I'm not fussed with that. But if John Cena was to win and break the record, and you get the buffering and you don't get to see it, people will be pissed. So sort that out. But I think this entire year's just been a tried and tested method for them. In terms of boxing, it's probably going to be Jake Paul fights, but they put all the eggs in one basket when it comes to the WWE anyway.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the WWE because every time I've seen Netflix do something live, there is technical difficulties. If they've done live stand-up, or my wife and I, we watched Love is Blind, they did a live reunion, that froze the app. So I'm curious how they're going to be able to even do WWE week to week live when they're having all these issues every single time they try to put on an event. I imagine WrestleMania on Netflix is going to, so many people are going to be on that app. All right. There's no way they're going to be able to keep that app up. Like, so I don't see them continuing with boxing definitely after this, because it got such negative reviews of like people said they wasted their time with that fight. I tried to tell everybody they were wasting their time.
The funny thing was, I saw somebody tweet the actual stream to rip off Netflix was working better than the actual Netflix stream.
Oh, really?
I swear to God, I was half awake here and I thought I was streaming it illegally. I was like, wait,
the illegal streams were not buffering. They were not buffering, but the Netflix stream was buffering for you.
That's so mad.
They got to sort that traffic side of things out, but that's it really. I don't think they've got a stake in boxing, unfortunately, because of how everything's locked up with DAZN.
The Serrano Taylor fight, people were pretty hype about that fight. I didn't think it was as good as everybody else was saying, but they found something with that one, I feel like.
Again,
I heard that was somewhat a robbery, in fact.
I don't call close fights robbery.
It was a close fight.
Yeah.
But I did think Amanda edged that one a bit more. So that was a definitely more of a fight for the actual pro boxing fan, with Jake obviously being the headline. But I said this before to a lot of people. The reason Jake is the headline is because out of the 60,000 people that are there, 40,000 plus will probably be there for Jake and Mike.
Yeah.
So if you didn't put them as the headline, the stadium becomes empty by the time Serrano and Katie Taylor come on. So yeah, look, both women made insane amount of money, and a lot of credit does actually need to go to Jake for that. Like, people don't realize that Jake put Amanda Serrano in a position where she's one of them female highlight athletes, and she always is provides a lot of gratitude towards him anyway. So yeah.
No, he's a hell of a promoter. As much as I don't like him,
I like him.
I can't deny he's a great promoter, man. At the end of the day, so. It is what it is. But look, man, another bank robbery in place, man, for the Jake Paul team. Straight up bank robbery, smacking a 58-year-old man mercilessly and getting that 40 million. But hey, man, it's a wrap, like, for Mike Tyson's career. Hopefully we'll never see him box again. I'm curious to see what's going to happen with Jake. But thanks, boys, for joining us, man. Another great show. And make sure you guys stay tuned, subscribe, all that good stuff. Take care, boys.